Hello friends, welcome to Cook to Nourish. Today's recipe is that of mango ice cream or mango kulfi. It is soft and delicious and so creamy. And you don't need an ice cream maker to make this. So I start off by using two ripe mangoes, fresh ripe mangoes. So to peel them, I like to use a peeler. As you can see what I'm doing, you kind of just go from the top to the bottom of the mango. And if you have a good peeler, it's pretty, easy and easy to do this. And then, scrape off any pieces of skin that you couldn't get using the peeler, using a knife. And then use a large knife, like as I do below, as I'm using, to kind of just cut the pieces, around the pit. As you know, it has a large pit in the center. Try to get as much flesh off of the pit as you can. Actually, I don't. I try to leave some flesh off on the pit because I love to suck on the pit. So that's for me for later. And then you can actually just chop it up roughly because ultimately we are going to be putting it in a blender. And we are, this is two mangoes I have here chopped up. And next we are going to use some coconut cream. So I have a coconut cream can here. This is the 5.6 ounce. This is only because, the quarantine period, that was the can that I got. But that's about 3/4 cup of, the coconut cream along with whatever little water it has in the can. You can also replace it with coconut milk from a can. So just use the top creamy portion more and then a little bit of the water so that it all adds up to 3/4 cup. Okay, so now I'm heating that on very low heat in a saucepan and adding 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So this is just to balance out the sweetness a little bit more because once you add coconut milk to it, the sweetness of the mango will go down a little bit, but you can avoid it if you don't want. Also adding a little bit of salt so that I love to add salt to all my desserts. And next we are using this secret ingredient to make the ice cream really creamy. So this is 1 tablespoon of arrowroot flour or arrowroot starch, and I'm mixing it with 2 tablespoons of water. So you can use a small bowl to do that, and just make sure that you're kind of breaking all lumps and then it's like a really smooth mixture because we are going to add this into our saucepan with the coconut milk which is heating up. So we have to make sure that it is like a smooth mixture, and see how I'm doing it. Add it using one hand and then with the other hand just keep stirring your coconut milk mixture because within couple of minutes it is going to thicken up. So you have to make sure you stir it constantly. This is an important step. Okay, so the heat is really low and just keep stirring it. As within a minute or so you can see it getting thicker. See, you can already see it's getting thick, and by 2 minutes or 3 minutes tops it will be like really thick and creamy. And at that point when you see that it's not getting any more thicker, you turn the heat off. See, that's the consistency you want, and at that point you will just turn the heat off and let it cool. So make sure you let that coconut mixture cool before blending everything together. So now I'm adding all the the cut up mangoes, that is 2 ripe mangoes, which comes to about 2 cups of chopped mangoes. And then this is the cooled mixture, the coconut mixture. Like cool it for about 5 to 10 minutes so that it's not really hot because you don't want to kind of take away the color of the mango. The bright yellow color will fade a little bit if you add hot mixture to this. So that's a very important that you cool the coconut mixture before blending it. I'm also additionally adding 2 scoops of collagen peptides here to make it extra creamy. Now, if you are vegan and if you want to avoid this, you can avoid this step. However, this makes it extra creamy. So blending everything again, make sure it's, everything gets blended. There are no, mango chunks left. So this is completely blended. So I like to freeze this in a loaf pan, a metal loaf pan. You can use any other kind of container. Uh, but we are not done here yet. The next step is an important one. So now we pour this here, I'm just covering it with plastic wrap or with foil. You can use foil, and then place this in the freezer for about 3 hours, at least 3 hours, so that it sets up, sets a little bit. Or you can also keep it overnight, which is what I did. So I actually kept it overnight. And then we have to blend this up again. So before doing that, can thaw it for a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, so that at least it's easy to cut it up. And this is hard now. This is like really, very hard at this point. But that is why this step is so important. We need to kind of break up these frozen, pieces and froze, basically the ice that's in there. And we are going to blend it up again so that it becomes, all the ice particles get broken up and it gets like creamy ice cream like texture. So basically we are going to blend this frozen mixture again till it's of, see, it's like a soft serve consistency. So I'm using this, my blender cum food processor, so that actually does this job. But if your blender is, like a regular blender, you may have to, it'll take maybe a few minutes where you may have to open it up and stir it up, a couple times before you get this texture. So just have patience. But this is the texture you want, creamy and soft serve like. And then again, the second mixture, again, we are going to freeze again until it sets, which could be, at least minimum of 3 hours, or again, 4 hours or so. Then before serving, now your ice cream is ready, but before serving, again, make sure you thaw it for at least 5 to 10 minutes at room temperature, and then it becomes easy to scoop it out. I'm actually not a very good scooper, as you can see, but I'm sure you'll do a better job than me. But basically, at this point, the ice cream is ready to be had, and it is actually the right texture and consistency. So you can scoop it out, whichever way you want. You could even slice it up if you like it that way. And see, that's the texture you have. Delicious creamy ice cream. Hope you like this ice cream recipe. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.